Hi artists, today we are going to be taking our coffee filter radial balance designs that we made the other day, and we're going to be using them for some truffula trees. The truffula trees were in the book The Lorax by Dr. Seuss, and we're doing that today because March 2nd was Dr. Seuss's birthday, so we're going to celebrate a little bit. Before we do that, we're going to make a background. So I'm going to start with pencil and just make a grassy area, made a little hill, a pond. I want to make a couple of drawn truffula trees in the background. So they're just kind of in a spiral. Start in the center and make curved lines going around. They were big fluffy trees in the Lorax. They were yellow trunks with black stripes on them. You can do them like that, or you can do them whatever colors you want. Just keep in mind that Dr. Seuss did use bright, bold colors. Made everything look pretty happy. I'm also going to draw some clouds in here because we're painting the sky blue, but I don't want those clouds to be blue, so I'm just going to leave that white space for them. I'm using tempura cakes today, which look kind of like this. They're kind of like a watercolor, but they're a little bit bolder and brighter. So I'm going to just start with my green. I have to get it nice and wet so it kind of mixes that paint in. And you can see as I'm painting, I try to pull my brush straight along the edge. I'm holding my brush by or near the metal part, and you hold it just like a pencil. If you have watercolor paints at home, this would be a great thing to use for this project. And if you don't have any paints, you can simply color it in using the same colors that I'm painting with. Okay, so I'm going to finish up that grass really quickly. I'm running out of space over here. I want to make sure I go around my pond. Now normally I would want this probably a little bit darker, greener color, but I don't want to waste too much of your time, so I'm doing this very quickly. If I add a little bit more water in it, I can smush the paint around a little bit, or swish it around. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and rinse my brush off. I'm going to paint the trunks of those truffula trees yellow. Like that. I'm going to wait for that to dry, and I'll go back afterwards to paint in the black stripes on there. And I'm going to use a nice magenta color for one of my truffula trees. So I'm just painting over those pencil lines. I like the darker magenta mixed with the lighter magenta. It gives it a little bit of depth. It makes it look more three-dimensional. And I think maybe I'll do orange for the other one, making sure that I rinse my brush in between. So that's pretty dark orange, so I can just add a little bit more water, and I'll get a lighter orange in there. Okay, so now that's done, I'm going to go ahead and paint my sky. I have this beautiful kind of teal color. You can use that or just a regular blue. It's up to you. I'm going to make it nice and light though, and I need to remember that I want to go around those clouds, so I may just go ahead and kind of outline the clouds first. It's okay if I go over it a little bit, not a big deal. Don't want to go into those trees either, so be careful of those. But if you do this first, that's a good way of making sure that you are not going to paint anything that you don't want painted. Come around here. Then I can go ahead in just a minute, and it should be pretty fast to paint the rest of the sky now. Just going to make a nice big strokes. It's nice and watery, so it looks light and pretty. Or at least I think it does. You're almost done here. A few more little sections to go. Like I said, if you are using watercolors, make sure that you are rinsing that brush in between each time you change colors, because otherwise your colors will get all muddled looking, it's called, or they turn like a brownish color, and that's not very pretty unless you wanted to paint wood or an animal. Brownish color would be fine, but not for the sky or for lots of other things. So again, finishing that up quickly. And a couple last strokes here. And this doesn't need to be nice smooth lines because it's the sky. Get back in a couple of spots. Okay, but you get the idea. So now I'm going to put my paints to the side. Oops, I did forget to do the black on my stripes on my tree, but that's okay. We're going to wait for that to dry. But since I'm doing this for you now, and I'd like to have it all done right now for you, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make the three-dimensional tartufla trees. So I have some yellow paper straws here. So I'll just put this to the side for a second. And I'm just going to make some diagonal stripes on it. Might be a little hard because they're circular. I'm going to make maybe 2 of those because I have 2 coffee filters. If you ended up making more, you can do more. If you only have 1, that's fine too. Okay. Now, you want to wait until this is all dry. I'm going to do this now so you can see how to do it. But basically, what you want to do is then place your yellow straw, and if you don't have a yellow straw, you can use a piece of construction paper, or you can color a piece of paper yellow if you don't have that yellow construction paper. And then you're going to glue that on, and then you're going to take your coffee filter. You're going to pinch your fingers, pinch it in the middle, and then kind of hoop it up like an OK sign going around it. And then you're going to glue it on to that straw or the construction paper, whatever you happen to use. And there you go. You have your cool tartufla trees. Hope you enjoy, and happy birthday, Dr. Seuss.